You're live now, so I would remove it.
No,
All right,
it's
does that work?
yeah, I'm hitting live.
No, don't hit live yet.
Oh, stop.
Hi guys, we're live. We're sorry to do that. We're getting ready just in our pre-show here. I can see we're live in the upper left-hand corner. Today we've got here a couple of gentlemen with us and a very wonderful Sonia Johnson along with Neil Haley and Bryce Capodisi. And I'll let you guys get started at the top of the hour. You'll have to do introductions again.
Yeah. We're getting ready to go live, and everyone needs to go ahead and share. So one thing that my name is Neil Haley, inside sales for LENSEC and host of What's Your Perspective radio show and much more. I'm going to be sharing this everywhere. So again, this is okay, Jeff. This is called the live hello everyone, and we're ready to go again, because what happens is that using certain streams, you got to just go with the flow and go, and I'm ready to go. So Jeff will be leaving us. Jeff, again, you've done an awesome job live for so many different sessions, and now you're giving me the opportunity to go live with everyone here on LENSEC Live. So what I'm going to do at the top of the hour, hit the record button, and we'll be ready to go. So everyone share your,
have a great show, guys.
All right. Thanks, Jeff. All right. So we'll be doing the countdown in a second, just saying hi to everyone. And this even gives us more time to start sharing this as we begin our live. So again, always fun. And it is the top of the hour, and we're going to do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And just waiting. We are live here, LENSEC Live, and What's Your Perspective radio show. And I'm with Bryce Capodisi, sales engineer of LENSEC, and Sonia Johnson, technical training resource. And I welcome you guys to LENSEC Live, as I guess I'm getting the hosting opportunity today. Make sure everyone hits that share button right now and share it to your groups, to your friends, hit anything. And we're going to talk about LENSEC today with both Sonia and Bryce. So Bryce, kind of introduce yourself a little bit. I know you've been on before, and a little bit of your background, then we'll go to Sonia.
Sure. So Bryce Capodisi, I'm a sales engineer for LENSEC. Fairly new hire, been with the company since November of 2019. My area of focus is the eastern side of the United States, but I can definitely support any customer throughout the country. I am located, as I mentioned, Morgantown, West Virginia. I have an electrical engineering background and IT background, and I graduated from West Virginia University.
Okay, Sonia, your background.
Hello to everyone. Wanted to just give out a great big hello and stay safe to everyone. My position with LENSEC is a technical research specialist. My background is in learning and development. I have a degree from the University of Texas. Go Texas, go Longhorns. Okay. And I have been with the company since October. Bryce and I started fairly at the same time. So we are comrades in more than one way. So glad to be here, excited to just open up and share with you all good things about LENSEC.
All right, so let's start out, again, our topic for today, which is a very interesting topic, involves something that makes LENSEC special as a video management software manufacturer, and the fact that we train not just both our partners who sell our solution, but also our end users. And we have an online training academy, which I think really is an awesome way to learn the product and understand it backwards and forwards. One thing, since I've been with the company, that I think is the best is it's so easy to use. I've talked to other video management software manufacturers who sell that solution, our integrators, and they say it's not easy, but this is so easy to use. But then if a customer or one of our customers or end users says to ourselves, you know what, I really like this product, and it's so easy, why do I have to go to the trainings? Because you have to become the expert as well. My director of sales said anyone that's involved in LENSEC and selling LENSEC needs to understand it. And that's why Sonia's here. So Sonia, tell us a little bit about the online training academy.
Sure. So LENSEC is a great organization. We promote training inside and out. We have a very strong learning internal culture, and we promote that and share that with our partners. The Online Training Academy is divided into two sections. We have a section for end users, and end users are anyone that is exposed to our product, that may be talking about our product, that just wants to get a good basic foundation about our product, as well as technical certification training that we offer. So we can accommodate the end user who just needs to be able to get in and do what they need to do on a day-to-day basis, as well as that technical engineer that needs to have a much higher level of experience and exposure and knowledge about our system. The Online Academy is open 24 hours. It's not affected by the shutdown. So you can go back into any course that you have completed successfully and use that information as a reference guide and go back into that information at any time to refresh and continue to learn. We are constantly putting, go ahead.
I also want to add that Sonia does update those courses on a regular basis. So even though you may have taken the course at one point, check back frequently because there might be new modules that enhance the knowledge surrounding that topic.
That's absolutely correct. Yeah. And as we continue to evolve our product, which is an awesome product and it is a live product, we continue to enhance it, we do go back in and update that information. But that repository is there for you at any time that you can tap into and use.
I'm hitting that share button to all different groups involved as we're live again. And if you're enjoying this, please share this with other groups. And it will be available also at lensec.com/live. Anytime you can go back and check out other recordings since we've been doing the live format. Now, Bryce, the thing that makes this online training academy so great is the fact that some people aren't technical people.
Right.
I guess starting with the company, I was semi-technical. I have great people I've learned in being in media and marketing for years, learning technical things. But when software makes me feel scary, it scares me. It scares me. Anything involving when we start looking at specific things involving, just code and stuff like that, that's just not for me. So Bryce, kind of tell us specifically why this Online Training Academy is so great for the technical knowledge that you'll gain.
Okay. Well, I'll start on both areas of that. So you talk about the non-technical people and the technical people, and where the Online Academy is great, where it kind of gives you a non-technical approach for the basic user certification. You don't have to be technical. It just kind of gives you a bird's eye view understanding of how the software works, how you interface with the software. So you don't have to be technically minded. The software itself is very intuitive and easy to navigate around, much like using a browser. Chrome or any other browsers out there, we utilize HTML5. So it's very simple. So it really makes it easy for the novice user to get around and play around. Now we have the advanced certification course where you might need a little more technical background to understand, but it gets into a lot of the nuts and bolts of how the software works and configures, explains to maybe the integrator or an end user how to configure cameras or user accounts, mostly administration type functionalities. But it's not the complete package. As we do have install manuals, we have troubleshooting guides. We have also within Perspective, we have a lot of tutorial videos that you have access to that kind of, what's the word I want to use?
Yeah.
You can use it in conjunction with courses, complement, correct. So we have little 2 to 5 minute tutorial videos that go along with the coursework that you can use as well. And in fact, in the course itself, it will make mention of those videos.
And that's so important to have that, because you have to have a step-by-step process. If you don't understand the material, the software from the basic end, you're not going to be able to understand it on the technical end. And one thing at LENSEC, all of our employees at LENSEC are not just going to learn the basic certification, but the technical, which means they become software engineers in themselves in a way of understanding how to install our software. Am I correct, Sonia?
That is correct. And I'm glad that you mentioned the different varieties of training and resources that we have, because everyone learns a little bit differently. Every single person learns a little bit differently. So we do have the technical resources. We have technical engineers that can speak the language to each other. But then we have the very basic beginning foundation courses. We have online tutorials and print materials for those who like to read the material. But we definitely have things through our online academy that can be accessed anywhere. on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet. We really offer the full gamut of resources for technical, like I said, end user, and Bryce, the novice. We can accommodate you.
Absolutely. And that's the part of this, but we're not just going to be talking about the online training academy, but also because of COVID-19, a lot of us are now working remotely, Bryce, and you could speak to that. We've been talking about that a lot on other LENSEC lives about working remotely and the challenges of working remotely because of just kind of figuring out what to do, how to utilize our time. Explain that and why that academy is important for that reason.
The great thing about the academy is that it's self-paced. So at a time where, depending on what field you're in, maybe it might be a major slowdown, you might have a lot more time on your hands. But taking and registering for these online courses in the online academy, they're self-paced. You could spend 10 minutes working on a course in one day or several hours at a time. It's up to you. So you really dictate how much time that you put into it until you complete the course. But as we mentioned, courses will be continuously updated, so new information will be added. So it's always great to go back. One thing I like to point out to at least a lot of our partners and integrators is that that they are asked to take this online academy training before they actually have before they
technical certification
in the certification courses.
Mm-hmm.
They go through all that, and then maybe 6 or 7 months later, I work with them as a sales engineer to providing technical support. I may refer them back to the online academy or provide additional demonstrations within Perspective VMS. So it's a complete package. You're not just left with the online training or the certification courses, but you have not just sales engineers, but our sales managers as well, who can provide these demos to help out with our end customers. But going back to working remotely, this is a great time if you have enough time on your hands to spend the time to take these online courses and get familiar with Perspective VMS.
You know what, Bryce, the one thing that's not affected by COVID-19, learning. It's not affected by it. Okay, you have an opportunity right now to take advantage of, like you said, going back and refreshing or learning something new. If you had a question about, I really didn't understand how that really worked, I'm going to go back and review that particular piece again. So it's not affected. This is a great opportunity to take advantage of training and learning and continue to grow. The one thing that is fantastic about what LENSEC does is our training is free.
Right.
Most other companies charge for their training. This is an investment that LENSEC makes into our VAR partners, into our end users, to offer this high level of training at no cost. So, it's convenient, it's no cost, and it's there and available. One thing I want to bring up is that because of COVID-19, typically we would have our technical certification training in-house, because our product is very unique and we do a lot of hands-on. Our trainers are, all certified in LENSEC, all the aspects of our system. And we do a lot of hands-on with our individuals when they come into our in-house training. But because of social distancing, we're having to now, do something different like most people. And we are now going to offer that technical certification course online. We're offering our next one May 14th and 15th. This is a great opportunity to join us. It is a full 2-day course. It does have a prerequisite, which is the basic user course that Bryce mentioned earlier. But this is an opportunity for our installers, our technicians, our end users to really take advantage of this opportunity and join us for that course. What are you going to learn? You're going to learn about our topology. We're going to learn about how to install. We're going to learn all of the features and the advanced uses, real life application of our product. You have an opportunity to speak with some of the top people in the business. Alman is an awesome instructor. Bryce will be joining us in our regional sales team, as well as other members of our leadership team to help answer any questions that you might have about our product. So I want to throw that out there, as they say, give a shout out about our training coming up on for technical certification on May 14th and 15th.
Yes. And there's still some opportunity to sign up now, right? I think
there's an opportunity to sign up now. I will say that the space is limited because we do want to have that high level of engagement with the people that are taking the time out to be a part of that training. It is intense and it can be intimidating. So we want to be able to offer a platform in which individuals can address us and ask questions. So we want to make sure that we allow that. So we're going to keep it limited in size, but depending on demand, we may have to adjust that. If you are looking to register, you can go directly to our website. Is that what you're going to bring up?
Yes, definitely. And then I want to get in more deep detail about, the website and different things like that. And you could show that. I guess that's perfect timing now to show people who want to go ahead and sign up for the training where they can go.
So I just want to mention also, or reiterate, that these are instructor-led courses. So attendance is required. It's different from the self-paced online academy. And I also want to point out that we do offer these trainings on site, customer sites, if we have enough participants, which we may not probably handle right now during the COVID-19, but in the future, if things go back to normal, we could present these courses on site.
Absolutely. All right. So Sonia, when you talk about the training and how, let's talk about breaking down specifically how a training day would be if it was online also versus in person. I think more and more we're going to be doing these online academy trainings that are going to be with a live person, and through that process, tell us kind of how it works and stuff.
So for the live certification training, which again, I keep harping on that because our guys do such a fantastic job, that may come back in the future. We're not putting that away completely. That is how we have chosen to be available as a resource to our partners. So that will come back. I'm pretty sure it will come back. But for the immediate time frame, we're going to do this virtual. So the virtual certification course is, like I said, a full 2-day course. It is 9 a.m. to, I think I'm going to say 4 p.m. in the afternoon. We'll have breaks in there. We're going to involve a lot of, as much as we can, hands-on with our system. Almond will be demonstrating different features of our system. We're actually going to go into how to install the system, the step-by-step process of doing that, which is very detailed. And again, we open up that platform to all kinds of questions and real case situations. So we bring a lot of real case experience into it. So it is vital for the individuals that attend that course to be sure to take the basic user, because you need to have that foundation before you begin. The TED Talk will be there, so you do need to feel comfortable with that. But it is open to anyone who wants to take that challenge. Now, for our VAR partners, it is something that we really push. We reach out to them. I will be reaching out to them. Our inside sales team will be reaching out to them to encourage them to attend this training. And we'll walk them through any questions that they may have prior to coming into that training to make sure it is the right fit for them. So we'll do everything we can to make sure that we do the best job that we can for them.
When you think about specifically, Bryce, the breakdown of a training, we talk about a lot of partners, potential partners bring up, well, this is going to take too much of my time. It's going to be so much of a process. That's great with this whole thing with online, but what do they gain from this training technically? Because that's especially when they have the people who are going to install Perspective VMS have to understand that process.
It's a really great question. And there are ways when you take the training that we could show you, there are definitely ways in configuring where you can save yourself a lot of time. There are ways that you could set up, for example, you can create a user account. You may have a integrator who's trying to create hundreds of accounts. Well, instead of setting up one account at a time, you can create one account, copy it, and then just fill in the different information. Same way with camera configurations. You don't need to, if you have the same model and you have 100 of those cameras, you don't need to configure each camera individually. Create one, copy it, and go back and change maybe the IP address. So by taking these courses, you understand there are ways and shortcuts that will save you time, which will save you money.
And that's important. And so, Sonia, lay out the way the course, like a day of training goes, how it works.
Sure. So the first day of the training, we're going to start out with kind of a basic introduction. We're going to go over some of the things that were covered in the basic user certification. We're going to go through the modules, kind of a soft introduction to the modules. And again, Q&A, okay, because they were supposed to take this ahead of time, right? So we will go through and walk through the camera module, the administration module. We'll go through the archive module. All the basics of that information will be iterated in the first half of that session. When we come back after lunch, we're going to get into more of the advanced system features. And I don't want to scare anyone off, but it is, for our technical folks, this is the meat. This is where you want to come in at. This is the meat of the course. And we'll go into the topology. We'll go into all of the different hardware, the specifications, and all the system things that you need to know to be able to really understand our product. That would be day one. The second day, we go into even more advanced features of our system. And we're going to go in and show you actually how to install the system. All the things, all the nuances that you need to know to make that install easier. So when you go out into the field as an installer, a technical installer, you know exactly how to walk through our system. And they do an excellent job of going through that process. And then we might have a couple of games in there to break up the monotony, but we'll come back at the end of that day on day two. We're going to wrap up, and we're actually going to have our installers walk through doing that install on their own.
And Bryce, that's an important thing to teach them that now, so we don't get to the install and there's tons of questions. We have a great support team and we have a great team all together that can help them, but learning this now will make it so that they don't have to ask those questions, right? With their first install, whatever install that's going to be.
Right. And it's important for our partners to understand that even though they may have the training early on, they can ask for demos. Everyone forgets if they don't use the information. So I'm available. All of our sales engineers are available. GSMs are available to provide demos to bring back some of that knowledge. And especially we want to be involved before the deployment happens. So let us help you. Let us help you configure and make sure that everything is running smoothly. I
don't think, and I want to ask another question to Bryce. I don't think people understand when installing software like Perspective VMS, what's involved in it. And especially as a sales engineer, you understand you're always out there trying to help in specific ways, but explain that process.
Well, the first thing we do is we have to make sure that the server or computer has the right hardware available for Perspective VMS to run properly. So that's one thing that we check first. Once we start the installation, there are some configurations that we have to set up within Windows, activating the proper service user accounts, and then just get basic configuration going, working within Perspective. And then what we like to do is just to make sure that the integrator or our partner is familiar, we kind of hold their hand for the first couple, maybe account creation or camera configuration, and then let them run with it and then be available to help them or assist them in any way in case they run into problems. Now, Perspective is feature rich, and that's why you need to take these courses and understand how all these different features interact and what you have access to. I've come across some integrators, even end users, who aren't even aware of what all the different options and features that they can have access to within Perspective VMS. So this also gives me an opportunity to help explain some of these different options they can use to just give them a better user experience and to maybe in some cases automate the process.
And that's important, the whole process that you talked about, the automation of it, to make it so it's easier and easier. When you go through that training, you'll understand certain things that in workflows that could help in installation as well, right? When you're a partner and you want to install different systems, you'll have ways to shortcuts so it doesn't take as long after that first install versus that 10th install if you're a partner.
Yes, definitely.
It's about that faster adaptation to the system, really getting acclimated with the features of the system. I want to throw in that Bryce is absolutely right. We do have a lot of support. And our support team is there for you on that very first install from start to finish. We have some guys in our support team that are awesome that can take the very simple question to the, I don't know, I've seen Gilbert do some awesome things. So we're there for you. That's the point I want to get across is even after the training, we're still there for you.
Right.
And that's support. That's definitely to be there for the person. If you're not there for them then they get confused and they think it's difficult and everyone gets frustrated. And we don't want that in that process, because Bryce, you know, as again, as an engineer, that's the biggest headache for you guys is right when things don't work the way they need to work.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and there's always questions that can be asked that you may not have the answer right away, but we always come back with that assistance and support. It's important to have the right answer every time. So again, can't emphasize enough training, and having LENSEC support to have your back.
How much easier it is for a partner to sell our solution if they're trained well. Explain that, Bryce. That's big.
Well, if they understand our solution, they're definitely, they stand behind it. And when they know what they're talking about, they're more comfortable in promoting it and selling it. So that's why I offer demos to our partners on a regular basis, once a month if I need to, just to, you know, not to, everyone's busy, not to take up a lot of time. I can do something in 20 minutes. I can show them a feature. Just give me 5 minutes. I'll show you a new feature that you may not be aware of that may help you or your end customer. So it's training. Keep that knowledge level at a high level.
You always are learning. It doesn't matter what you do. You can learn all day long, learn new stuff. Never stop. And that's, Sonia, your big motto, right? Telling them, you know, even though you've been through this user certification once before, it doesn't hurt to go do it again and brush up, right?
Right.
Exactly.
And I'll also say this, that we are a very user-friendly, agile company. If something in any part of the training or any questions that you might have, if you pass that on to us, we're able to filter that and be able to, number one, get back to you with a proper response and a proper solution to your problem. But we also want to know how we can make things better, how we can improve our experience, our learning experience. The training area is always open. The support team is open. We've got, you know, our engineers out there in the field. I can almost guarantee you there's not a question we can't find an answer to.
We always make ourselves available. That's the important thing as a manufacturer, to be available to our customers and the end users. Because at the end of the day, if they don't understand our solution, more people aren't going to learn who we are and what we do in so many ways, Bryce, for sure, and Sonia. Bryce, I guess in that tech of things in the training, when you first went through the training, what did you gain, especially as a new employee of LENSEC back in December? What did you learn from these technical trainings that really helped you understand the software?
Another great question. So I came into this industry a novice. I didn't have any kind of experience in the service or the security industry. So I was blown away. I thought the online course was fantastic. It was very user-friendly, very easy to get through. The modules were short and concise, so that it's great where you can retain that information. You know, if you go through pages and pages of information, I might remember the last thing that I read and forget everything else in the beginning. So the modules are nice, short, and sweet. So it's easy to retain. And then your quiz at the end of each module, and you must pass with 8% or better in order to continue. So it's a great way to keep that information in your head where it's needed. And for me, I just thought it was fantastic. There was definitely a lot of knowledge every day for me. Even now, there's on-the-job training that I'm learning new things.
There's something else in the solution that I didn't know about. And someone like Michael Trask, our director of sales, or also Jeff Kellick, our chief product officer, shows us and said, oh, wow, that's pretty cool. And that's what's cool about this. This is really cool software. So once you become a partner of ours, you need to go and learn backwards and forwards, because it's going to help you win that deal, win that opportunity, because you're going to say, oh my gosh, well, this software doesn't do this. And then the end user is going to say, I want this. And I saw this firsthand being involved in demos with Michael, where they're like, I never knew that. So that's a big, important thing. The more you learn our software, the better it is as an end user to be happy saying, wow, we can do this. And this is going to help certain things that we're dealing with our business or our school district or our college. While this is always going to be a great thing for our partners selling our solution, Sonia, isn't that? That's the big thing of why we have these trainings and all these things. We just learn new things.
Right. It's the value add. You know, you don't get that just from reading a book. You know, the value add is the actual testimonials coming from our instructors and from others in the room that have sold our product before, and they are now coming into our training. I can tell you from the last certification class that we had individuals in that room that had sold our product, but also was learning something new about our product. And the testimonials that came from those and other individuals to the newer ones was, I mean, you can't buy it. You just cannot buy it. The value added solution, the power behind PVMS actually comes from hands-on and knowledge to the system.
And going on to that hands-on knowledge, as a online account user, you're given an account into our demo server in Houston, Texas. So you could follow along with the course by actually having your hands dirty and working with PVMS before you ever have to install it on your in-house server or machine. So you have access to our demo server. You know, you won't have administrative rights, but you can have basic user rights, just enough to get familiar with the different features within Perspective. So it's a great tool to use while you're taking the online course, especially there was a section in the course for investigative analysis. So it's really cool to use Perspective to find who stole the flowers.
There's so many cool things to the solution, and then go to lensec.com. And then for Sonia, so the best place to have questions on training is to go where, Sonia?
So training information can be found on our website under support and then training. It will bring you to the training section of our website, and you'll be able to look at and find available courses that are coming up. You will find information about the online academy, which you can access our online academy right from our website, as well as you can contact myself or anyone in the support team and just ask for training, and you will get me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
And Bryce, you're available as well as a great support team, but you're available as well to give demos anytime for our partners or possible end users that are interested in our product, correct?
Yeah, definitely. And what COVID-19 brought upon us, which is great, in the past, I've noticed that there were some integrators who just felt they were too busy, thinking that you would have to come to their office to provide a demo. Now everyone's realizing that we're in a technology world. We can provide these demos remotely. We don't need to be in your office to show you. So we're hoping that this will open up the minds of a lot of our partners to allow us to give them frequent demos. I want them to have the confidence and assurance that they know this product well to sell it to our end users.
Absolutely. And I'll just throw in one more thing on training, and that is for our partners. Training is a great way to keep your staff engaged during this time. You know, they've got downtime. So why not have them utilize that downtime to take advantage of training? And again, our training is offered as a value add, and it is free for them to attend the training.
If I would summarize this in such an important way, the Online Training Academy is a fantastic resource because it's 24/7. And we're not just, you know, in the United States, we are an international company that has customers and also and users all over the world. So to be able to access this 24/7, 7 days a week with and also our support team and everyone available, it's fantastic. And just everyone needs to visit lensec.com, and you can check out all the great resources at lensec.com or follow us and make sure, I guess you put it on your calendar. I'm hoping every at noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to throw this out to Jeff. I'm happy to host this and bring on different people for What's Your Perspective radio show, because we're going to use every one of the live broadcasts for What's Your Perspective radio show that is syndicated on all different channels and different things. So everyone needs to go and check out and follow us on all the social channels and everything. And any questions, feel free to reach out to any of us at any time. So I appreciate this live, LENSEC Live. I appreciate everyone share the live so that people can check this information out, and look forward at one point, we'll be doing this on LinkedIn as well. So I appreciate you guys both stopping by, and it was a lot of fun getting to moderate this today. All right, so take care, guys. All right, that was LENSEC Live, everybody.